Good morning and welcome everyone. We're going to begin our 60-minute chair yoga in just a moment. First, I'd like you to make sure that you have a good sturdy chair with no arms. And by sturdy, I mean that if you push down on the seat or on the back of the chair from standing, it will not collapse or move around. And we'd like to have comfortable clothing and preferably bare feet. You can have soft feet if your feet get cold, or even wear shoes in this class if that's what's most comfortable for you for balance and stability. And we'll begin by coming right to the edge of our seat. Heels are under the knees, knees lined up with hips. Tailbone tucked, core strong. Let's give those shoulders a big roll up, back, and down. Squeeze them down and back as far as they'll go, and then we'll lengthen the neck and tuck the chin. Let's take a deep breath in all the way down to the soles of the feet, closing the eyes. And exhale completely. Feel the body supported by the seat and by the earth. Now just for a moment, let's bring our attention to today's class. And we'll make ourselves a promise that we will not push too hard, that we'll honor any feelings of restriction, especially through the joints, that we'll maintain the lines of communication with our bodies, pushing forward when it's appropriate, holding back when it's appropriate, and offering ourselves a bit of a challenge in the meantime. Now let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and open the eyes. Great, so we'll start with just a quick spinal release to begin getting that blood moving. Grasp the knees and we'll sit up nice and tall, breathing in deep. Exhale, curve and around the spine. Press the belly button toward the spine. Inhale, up, lift, look up, shoulders down, elbows in. Exhale, curve and round, squeeze all the air into the body. One more time, inhale, up, lift, look up, extending through the center of the chest. Exhale, curve and round, lengthen the neck, press the shoulders down. And we'll come back to neutral, sitting up nice and tall. Let's roll out the shoulders now, up, back, and down. And just noticing, we should feel that through our traps. Those are those muscles that connect our neck to our shoulder, and we want to loosen them out. We want to make sure that we're relieving as much tension as we can from those muscles, because that's where some of your tension headaches live. Also your shoulder pain, upper back pain, things like that. Just ease them out. Breathe deeply. Good. 2 more just like that. And now we're going to come into a forward fold. You can rest the hands on the thighs or come with me and inhale the arms out to the sides and overhead. And then we'll exhale and fold forward. So again, you might want to rest the hands or the forearms on the thighs, or you can relax all the way down toward the floor and just let the head hang. So inversions are when we lower the head below the heart line or raise the legs above the heart line. So if you notice that you're feeling dizzy or nauseated here, that's a good indication that you'll want to avoid the inversions later in class. Let's take a deep breath here. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, slowly rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulders down and back. If you'd like, you can reach the arms out to the sides and overhead with me, breathing in deep. And we'll release down through prayer and release the arms. Excellent. Now we're going to bring the hands to the seat of the chair behind us and just lean back onto the palms. So when you're here in this position, I'd like you to make sure that your shoulders are down and back, your core is nice and strong, and the spine is long and straight. So we don't want to allow the chest to cave in or the shoulders to come forward or the head to drop. Good. Just open up the fronts of the shoulders, and if you can't reach the back of the chair, you can sit up straight and tall and just extend the arms back toward the back legs of the chair. As you inhale, think of lengthening up and out through the center of the chest. As you exhale, squeeze the elbows in toward the body. You can even drop the head back if that's comfortable for your neck and shoulders. Notice where you can relax. See if you can bring that stretch into the middle and upper back. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale the neck back to neutral, and we'll move with those arms and fold forward once again. So you can again bring the hands or the elbows to the thighs, or just relax all the way down over the legs. As you inhale, think of widening the back. As you exhale, ask the body to relax down. And now we'll walk the hands back up. And sit up nice and tall. Let's come into a little static stretch for the neck now. So always making sure throughout our class, as much as possible, you'd like to be at the edge of your seat so that we can start working on that posture, our core strength. If this becomes uncomfortable, you can sit all the way back anytime, preferably with a cushion at your lower back so that you can still maintain that upright posture. So just resting the hands on the thighs or on the hips. Take a deep breath in and sit up tall. Exhale, press the right ear toward the right shoulder and hold. Press the left shoulder down away from the ear. And now if you'd like to deepen your stretch, you can reach those left fingertips down and back toward the back leg of your chair. What I'd like you to make sure of here is that your spine is straight and tall from the tailbone up to the collarbone. And then we're going to just bend from the neck. Make sure you're not leaning to one side. Our shoulders are even one side to the other. And we're feeling that deep extension through the left side of the neck. Now let's inhale through neutral, replace the left hand on the thigh, exhale the right ear toward the right shoulder. Sit up tall, shoulders are down, make sure you're not leaning to one side or allowing the chest to cave in. When you're ready, if you'd like a deeper stretch, the right fingertips can reach down and back. Tip your jaw toward the sky. Feel that extension through the muscles of the neck. Breathe into the stretch. Notice how you can relax that left shoulder. It might want to tense up toward the ear, and we're just going to counter that by focusing that relaxation through those muscles. Good. Now let's come to a little dynamic stretch, moving with the breath. Inhale through neutral, replace the hand on the thigh, exhale right ear toward the right shoulder. Inhale through neutral, exhale left ear toward the left shoulder. Inhale through neutral, exhale right ear toward the right shoulder. Inhale through neutral, exhale left ear toward the left shoulder. One more time in each direction. Inhale through neutral, exhale right ear toward the right shoulder. Inhale through neutral, exhale left ear toward the left shoulder. Now inhale to neutral, extend through the crown of the head. Exhale and gently turn the head toward the left side. Inhale through neutral, exhale and gently turn toward the right. So we're going to continue moving with the breath here. And as we go through class, I'll be indicating the left side or the right side, but you don't have to stick with that. You can just go with whatever side you'd like to begin and make sure you switch when I do. And I'm also going to be indicating when to inhale and when to exhale. The pace is up to you. Just make sure that when you inhale, you lengthen, and as you exhale, focus on the relaxation of the pose. One more time in each direction. Inhale through neutral. Exhale and turn, still sitting up straight and tall. Inhale through neutral. Exhale and turn. Good, and now we'll come back to neutral, extend through the crown of the head as we breathe in. Exhale the chin toward the chest. Now inhale through neutral, exhale and drop the head back. Inhale through neutral, exhale the chin toward the chest. Inhale through neutral, exhale, drop the head back. Now inhale through neutral, exhale the chin toward the chest, and we'll hold here. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can bring the fingertips to the back of the head and very gently press the chin down toward the chest, tucking the elbows in and down toward the hips. Now let's inhale through neutral, widen the elbows, and we'll drop the head back. Your hands can come to the thighs anytime. Just hold here for a moment. And if your hands are on the back of your head, I'd like you to relax the neck as much as you're able. Try and close the jaw, bringing the bottom jaw up to the top teeth. And you can even lean back a little bit if you'd like to deepen that stretch through the neck. See how much you can relax your neck and shoulders here. Good, now let's inhale through neutral, exhale the chin toward the chest. One last time, elbows down towards your hips. And we'll inhale through neutral, elbows wide, exhale and drop the head back. Good, and now let's come back to neutral and release the arms. Sit up nice and tall. We have one more neck movement to complete. Take a deep breath in. Exhale the right ear toward the right shoulder. Inhale, roll the chin across the chest, bringing the left ear toward the left shoulder. Inhale, roll across the chest. Right ear toward the right shoulder. Inhale, roll across the chest, bringing the left ear toward the left shoulder. One more time in each direction. Roll across the chest. Right ear toward the right shoulder. Roll across the chest. And left ear toward the left shoulder, and we'll come back to neutral. Great. Now we're going to come into our side bend, our half moon. Grasping the right side of the chair with the right hand. You can shift a little bit to the side if you need to in order to get that good grip, but I'd like you to make sure your body is right up against the arm. Inhale the left arm up toward the sky, sit up straight and tall to start, and we'll exhale, bending the right elbow in toward the body to drop the right shoulder down as far as it'll go. Now from here, I'd like you to first keep in mind that you can bring that arm down lower if that's more comfortable for your neck and shoulders. Then from there, I'd like you to make sure that you're even across both sides of the body on your chair. We're not leaning to one side. And our bottom shoulder is down as far as it will go away from the ear. This is part of why we bend the elbow, because if our arm is straight in the bend, then that shoulder is going to hike up toward the ear. You can look toward the sky if it's okay for your neck and shoulder. Otherwise, look toward the floor. And I'd like you to breathe deeply and think of expanding into that left rib cage as you inhale. And then relaxing down as you exhale. Press your bottom shoulder way down. Good. Lengthen through those fingertips. And now let's inhale and come up. Exhale, release the left hand to the seat of the chair. And again, you can shift if you need to get a good grip. Make sure you're sitting up straight and tall to start, and we'll inhale the right arm up toward the sky, lengthening first through the crown of the head, and then exhale the left elbow in toward the spine, dropping that left shoulder down. Again, you can look up toward the sky if it's okay for your neck and shoulders, otherwise look toward the floor. Your right arm can come straight out in front, or the hand can come to the hip or behind the back anytime. Make sure you're even across both sides of the body. We do have a tendency to lean, and that's one of your body's protective reflexes, and also helps us to feel like we're getting deeper into the stretch, although that's not the case. So just relaxing into that stretch as much as you're able, never pushing too hard. And let's inhale and come up. Exhale, release the arm, and now we'll grasp the knees and release the back. Curving around the spine as you exhale. Inhale, up, lift, look up, shoulders down, elbows in. Exhale, curve and round. And come back to neutral. Great job. So now we're going to come into a little spinal twist. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's bring that right hand to the hip. Take a deep breath in, and we'll exhale. Look out over the back shoulder, and we're just going to allow our shoulders to follow. Your left hand can stay on the thigh, or it can come to the hip, or you can reach across to the right knee. Make sure that your knees don't collapse in. Keep them lined up with the hips and ankles. And I'd like you to just begin to feel this stretch in the top of the spine, maybe down into the middle back, maybe through the rib cage, hopefully also through those upper abdominal muscles. And our shoulders are wide and down. And when you're ready, if you'd like, you can bring that right hand to the seat of the chair, or to the back of the chair, or you can reach back in line with the shoulder. So again, making sure that we're not compromising our position, such as allowing the chest to cave in order to reach further back. The goal is not to get as deeply as you can into the pose. The goal is always just to feel the stretch and push just a little bit past our comfort zone, so we improve our flexibility and our focus. As you inhale, think of expanding the rib cage. As you exhale, just notice where you can relax. Maybe through the shoulders, maybe through the jaw. Good. One more deep breath in as you extend through the crown of the head. Exhale, look forward, square the shoulders forward, and we'll release the spine with our cat dog, grasping the knees. Curving around as you exhale. Inhale, up, lift, look up, shoulders down, elbows in. Exhale, curve and round. And come back to neutral. Good. Now coming along to the other side, and we're beginning really in the gentlest modification here. So our right hand comes to the thigh, the left hand comes to the hip. We're inhaling and extending through the crown of the head, and then exhaling, looking out over the back shoulder and allowing our shoulders to follow. So first I want you to just use the muscles of your core to facilitate that twist. Then when you feel ready, if you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can use that right hand pressing into the inside of the right knee or into the outside of the left knee, and always making sure that the knees don't collapse in and the spine stays straight and tall. When you're ready, the left hand can come to the seat of the chair or to the back of the chair, or you can reach out in line with the shoulder. Now, here's really the first spot where we might notice that there's a difference in our level of flexibility and maybe also our strength and our comfort from one side of the body to the other. You might have noticed before that, and that's a good thing too. We just want to keep that information in mind later on, and also keep in mind that we're not trying to force both sides to be the same here. We're just working within our own abilities and hoping to even things out a little bit. Breathe into the stretch. As you inhale, expand the ribcage and imagine massaging the internal organs with the breath. And then as you exhale, just relax a little deeper into the stretch. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale, look forward, square the shoulders forward, and we'll grasp the knees. Sitting up tall, shoulders down and back, and we'll curve and round the spine. Squeeze the belly button toward the spine. Inhale, up, lift, look up, shoulders down, elbows in. Exhale, curve and round. And come back to neutral. Excellent job. Okay, now we're going to turn to the side in our chair and jump right into our warrior series from sitting. Grab a drink of water anytime you need one. So about the first 10 minutes or so, maybe sometimes 15 minutes, is really lower key exercises, just warming up and tuning into the body. Good. So turning to the side. And the inside half of the body is on the chair, the outside half is off the chair. We're going to grasp the back of the chair with the inside hand and place the outside hand on the hip. And then we'll just drop that outside knee down underneath the hip, and at the same time, I'd like you to tip forward and bring the elbows to the front thigh. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can sit upright, and of course you can bring the soles of both feet to the floor anytime. When you're ready, if you'd like a little more of a stretch in that left lower leg, straighten it out. Hopefully you'll also notice a little stretch in that hip flexor. So at the same time, we're tucking our tailbone, pressing into that back heel. See if you can really target the calf and the Achilles tendon and the soleus muscles in the bottom of that back leg. Good. Breathing deeply, keep the shoulders down away from the ears. And you might also be pushing into the heel of that front foot. You might feel the body rise up off the chair a little bit, and that's great as long as it's comfortable for you. Breathe, lengthen the spine. Shoulders are down away from the ears. And throughout our class, if you're able, I'd like you to think about sucking the belly button toward the spine, especially when you exhale, to strengthen those core muscles in the proper way. So we don't want to push them out, we want to suck them in when we contract. Good, and now we're going to bring the hands to the front knee and bend the back knee as we rise. That's going to help us to make sure that we don't hyperextend the lower back. So we're tucking our tailbone, and then from here, when you feel ready, you can begin to straighten out the back leg. If you notice that your lower back is arching quite a bit and you're not able to help that, then make sure that you're not straightening that leg out too much. We want to prioritize the lower spine. And when you feel ready, you can reach up with the arm on the back leg side, or with both arms. And if you'd like to intensify a little, push into the soles of the feet and just barely lift the body up off that chair. Good. Sink a little deeper if you can, tuck that tailbone. You can also think about dropping that outside hip down to deepen your stretch through the quadricep and hip flexor. Breathe into it. Notice where you can relax, maybe through the shoulders, maybe through the jaw. One more deep breath in. Exhale, and we'll release the arms. Let's grasp the back of that chair just for balance and stability. And we're going to bend the back knee, turn the back foot at 90 degrees to the front foot, and place it back down on the floor. So now the angle of your legs is completely up to you. You can have the 180 degrees, which is traditional, or you can adjust so that your knee and your hip maybe feel a little bit better, bringing that leg straight out in front, or you can even point that knee and the toes forward and toward the ceiling to remove the twist altogether. So hopefully you've still got that front knee bent and the toes pointed to the side. No matter where that back leg is pointing, we're going to reach one or both arms out in line with the front leg. So even if that leg is facing in front, we want both arms extending out in line with the front bent knee. Good. Now in this pose especially, I'd like you to find your on that fingernail. That's going to help you to tune into your breathing and how your body feels rather than what's going on in the world around you. So that mindfulness thing, all you have to do is focus, and it'll bring you right into this moment. And that's part of quieting our minds. So meditation is in life. It's not just sitting in a dark room in the quiet. It's while we're doing yoga, it's while we're working, while we're driving. Just find that focus and breathe into it. Relax your shoulders down. Great. One more deep breath in. And let's exhale the front hand or elbow to the front thigh. Swing the left arm down across the front of the body and open up toward the sky. Lengthen through the fingertips. In this pose, I'd like you to try and target the side body and rib cage. So again, this foot might be pointed forward. You might even want to just come back to our half moon side bend where we were just after our warm-up. So it's all up to you as long as your shoulders are down and back away from the ears, your core is strong, and we're not in pain anywhere in the body at all. Lengthening through those fingertips, lengthen through that back leg if it's extended. And remember, you can come up a level or two anytime for your comfort. Breathe, feel the rib cage expand as you inhale. Relax a little deeper as you exhale. Now let's inhale and come up. Exhale and release the arm, grasp the chair, draw that back leg forward, and we're going to straighten the leg all the way out. So you can adjust your position in your chair, of course, anytime. And we're flexing that left foot back toward the body, bringing both hands to the bent right knee, sitting up tall and breathing in deeply. Exhale, and let's tip forward, lifting the tailbone up toward the sky. And we want to get that left leg as straight as possible. Do not bring the hands down onto the straight knee or within 4 inches above the straight knee. Anywhere else is fine. So down onto the shin is okay, up on the hips is okay. And we're looking for that stretch in the back of the knee, coming up into the hamstring and down into the calf. Good. Relax your shoulders. Breathe deeply. Good. And let's walk the hands back up, and we'll release the leg and come along to the other side. So turning to the other side in your chair now. The inside half of the body is on the chair, the outside half is off the chair. We're grasping the back of the chair for our balance and stability, and the outside hand comes to the hip, and we're just going to drop that knee down. First thing we do is tuck the tailbone and sit up tall, looking for the stretch in that hip flexor and quadricep. And now we're just going to relax forward, bringing the elbows to the front knee. And once you've found your set position here, you can straighten out that back leg. So you might feel the stretch in different places from one side of the body to the other, and that goes for anything. I'd like you to, as much as you can, target the lower leg, find that calf and Achilles tendon stretch, because we're going to change that focus to the top of the hip and thigh later on. Good. And you might, like me, want to bring your toes a little bit closer to the chair so that you can get a better extension through that back leg. You might even want to rise up off your chair a little bit so that the body weight can contribute to your stretch. Breathe. Notice where you can relax. And now let's bend that back knee once again and press up, bringing the hands to the front thigh, tucking the back tailbone. And then once you get here, you can straighten out that back leg. Not so much that we hyperextend the lower back, we're just looking for that extension through the top of the front of that hip and thigh. If you like, you can reach up with the arm on the back leg side or with both arms. Good. You can also push into the soles of the feet and find that balance across both sides of the body. Good. If you'd like to deepen your stretch, just drop that outside hip down. Straighten out the back leg a little bit more. There's lots of things you can do. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. And breathe. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale and release the arms. Bend the back knee to protect it. Turn the back foot at 90 degrees to the front foot and release the leg out. Either at 180 degrees, or of course you can adjust however you need to in order to make that knee and hip feel comfortable and safe here. And whatever position you're in with that back leg, I'd like you to make sure that it never collapses down. So just contracting those leg muscles, making sure that especially the inside of that right knee feels safe and strong. When you're ready, you can reach the arms out in line with the front leg, no matter where that back leg is pointing. And we're extending, trying to touch those side walls with the fingertips. Breathe in deeply as you lengthen. Exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. And now here, once again, remember that focal point, that nail of the middle finger that's over our bent knee. And we're focusing our gaze there, extending into that point. Here in our Warrior Two, we want to make sure that we're always nice and firmly placed right in the center and never reaching for the future or living in the past, right? So just right here in the moment, nice and solid. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale the front hand or elbow to the thigh, swing the back arm down across the front of the body and open up toward the sky. So once again, remember, you can reduce your intensity absolutely anytime. You might just want to wrap that hand behind the back and sit up tall here. You might want to come back to our seated position with the half moon. It's all up to you. This is always your class, no matter what I'm doing here. And just remember those rules. If it hurts, don't do it. And breathe deeply and smile. Those are the only two rules we have. They are equally important. If you're reaching up above, see how close you can get your arm to the ear. And see how much you can widen that space between the hip bone and the bottom of the rib cage. Lengthen through the fingertips. Press your bottom shoulder down away from the ear as far as it'll go. Now let's inhale and come up. Exhale, release the arm. Grasp the chair. Draw the leg in. And you can shift however you need to straighten out that right leg. Flexing the toes back towards you. Make sure that you're nice and solid on that supporting leg. Sitting up nice and tall, breathing in deeply, and we'll tip forward. Hands can come to the bent knee, up on top of the hips, anywhere below the straight leg knee, or to the foot of the floor. Relax your shoulders, lengthen the spine a little more, lift your tailbone toward the sky, and feel that deep extension in the back of the knee, coming up into the hamstring, down into the calf. Good. And now let's press up, and we'll release the leg. Excellent, and we'll come back to center now. We're going to come to standing through our seat-assisted squat. Grab a drink of water anytime you need one. Now, our sit to stand, our ability to get up from a seated position, and our grip strength are two of the things that we really want to be able to keep for the rest of our lives. So here, we're going to be practicing that sit to stand. And what I'm going to ask of you is that as much as possible, do not place your hand on the thighs or on the chair. Every time you do that, you weaken the leg muscles a little bit more, and you tense up your shoulders a little bit more. So if you must today, then that's fine. Not when you come back down, but when you rise. And we're going to sit right at the edge of our seat, heels under knees, knees lined up with hips, tailbone tucked, core strong, shoulders down and back, chest proud, neck long, and the chin is tucked. And now you can bring those hands to the hips, or behind the back, or across the chest. Let's inhale and tip forward. Exhale, push the heels into the floor and slowly rise up, keeping the knees, hips, and ankles lined up in a straight plane. And we stand tall. Good, now we're going to take a deep breath in at the top. Exhale, and we'll slowly lower back down. You might want to back up so that the backs of your legs touch your chair so that you don't have to look or touch the chair with your fingertips in order to find it. So I want you to feel safe coming all the way down to your seat. Good, just touching down. And we'll come back to our set position, sitting up tall. You can relax the arms for a moment if you need to. Recheck your foot placement, make sure nothing's moved. And we'll inhale. Exhale, tip forward, push into the heels, and this time I want you to also push into the outsides of the feet, and notice how the muscles on the outsides of the legs wake up. Keep that alignment. Stand nice and tall, core is strong, and we're going to come down one last time, take a deep breath on top. Exhale and slowly lower, make sure you're close enough to the chair that you can safely sit down without looking or touching it with your fingertips. And landing softly as we possibly can. Coming back to our set position. Once again, resetting, sitting straight and tall. Inhale. Exhale, tip forward, push into the heels, push into the outsides of the feet. And we'll rise up nice and slow. Excellent. Release the arms and work out the ankles. We're going to come to a little bit of balance progression, and we're going to return to our chair series in just a moment here. So first I'd like you to just come to the back of your chair. And we're standing up nice and tall. The reason for our chair when we're standing is for balance and stability. So you can use your fingertips, just place them on the back of the chair. If this doesn't feel stable enough to you, come to another piece of furniture or to a wall. That's always fine too. So first I'd like you to find the soles of your feet. Just roll around until you can settle evenly on all four corners of the feet, the balls of the feet and the heels and the insides and outsides. Grip the floor with your toes. Even if you're wearing shoes, just squeeze them down. Let's find our focus. Focus your gaze on anything 6 feet away from you or less that's not moving. And we'll take a deep breath in. Exhale and come up onto the toes. Good. Now your fingertips can stay on the back of the chair, or you can reach up with one arm or with both arms. Suck your belly button toward the spine. Relax the shoulders down and back away from the ears as much as you're able. You can release the pose anytime. You can come back to sitting anytime. We're just noticing where our balance is today. One more deep breath in. Exhale the heels down, and you can stay here in standing mountain or come with me into a forward fold, relaxing down. You might want to stop here, shifting into the heels, lifting the tailbone, or you might want to come down lower with me. You can push the chair away, bringing the hands down to the seat of the chair, or all the way down toward the floor. You don't have to touch the floor today or ever. That's not the goal. The goal is to stretch in the backs of the legs with no dizziness or nausea or any other signs of your blood pressure not cooperating. If you're folding forward all the way, relax the arms and neck and just allow the body to hang. Breathe. One more deep breath in, and we'll exhale and bend the knees to keep them safe. Roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulders down and back, reach the arms up to the sides and overhead. And release down through prayer. And release the arms. Excellent. So now we're going to come in front of our chairs once again for a last little round of chair series. So Utkatasana translates as awkward pose for good reason. But we want to start to feel strong in this pose. So of course you can come to sitting anytime. Just keep that in mind. We're going to come through a few variations with you. So finding our standing mountain pose, I'd like you to back up once again so that you can safely sit down into your chair without looking or touching it with your fingertips. Inhale and reach the arms straight out in front or alongside the ears toward the sky. And we'll exhale and sit down into our imaginary chair, which is just an inch or two above our real chair. So you might touch the chair and then rise up a little bit, or you might sit all the way down and just push your heels into the floor for a milder muscle engagement. Push into the outsides of the feet, suck your belly button toward the spine. Feel the back muscles engage, especially through the lower and middle back. One more deep breath in. Exhale, push into the heels, reach up toward the sky, and we'll release the arms. You can work out the ankles. If you want to come into a forward fold here, you're more than welcome. I don't recommend it unless you have a wall or a chair in front of you, or you can turn around. And we're going to come into one more variation with a little bit of balance option. So let's inhale those arms straight out in front or up toward the sky. And we'll exhale, sit down into either our imaginary chair or the real chair. Okay, so just noticing where you are today. And now we're just going to hold here while we raise one heel. Try not to move anything else. And then we put it back down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. You might want to sit down on the floor and just push your heel into the floor on the right side while you raise the heel on the left side. Even seated, this is a very challenging pose, a very challenging series. I want you to see if you can keep the weight even across both sides of the body, whether you're sitting all the way down or whether you're rising up a little bit. Good. Inhale here, both heels down. Exhale, push into the heels and the soles of the feet. Reach up toward the sky. And we'll exhale and release the arms. Again, you can fold forward if you want to. You can work out the ankles. It's all up to you. Excellent. So now we'll come behind our chair once again. And we're going to come into a little wide-legged pose before we come back to our seats. So of course, remember, you can always come back down to your chair anytime. We're going to step the feet wider than the legs of the chair, preferably. If you can't make them that wide, that's fine. Just as wide as the hips or wider than that is fine. And preferably our toes are pointed forward. They can be turned slightly out to the side, but just make sure they're turned in the same direction. And we're sitting up tall to begin, tucking the tailbone. You might start to feel a little stretch already in that hip socket. And we're taking a deep breath in, and then tipping forward from the hip, pressing into the heels and lifting our tailbone toward the sky. This might be enough of a stretch for you. You can just hang out and lounge on the back of that chair, or if you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can walk the hands down to the seat of the chair or all the way down to the floor. Shift into the heels, lift your tailbone toward the sky. Do not bounce in your stretch. This is one of those asanas where that's kind of really what we want to do sometimes, but that can lead to a higher potential for injury. So just be aware of that. You inhale and extend, and then exhale and relax to ease yourself into the pose. You can rock from side to side slowly if you like, just noticing where you feel that stretch. And here also, I'd like you to press into the outsides of the feet and see if you can find that extension from the outside ankle up into the calf. Good. Whatever position you're in, the weight is in the heels, and we're lifting our tailbone up toward the sky, and there is no pain in the knees or the hips. And then we'll bend the knees and walk the hands back up, sitting up nice and tall. And once again, this chair is here for your balance and stability. If you want to do these poses without the chair or from sitting, you're more than welcome. Again, standing up nice and tall, recheck that position, make sure the knees feel okay, and we'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee, and we'll tip forward from the hip. Once again, you can bring the hands or the elbows to the back of the chair. Now, if we use the chair here, then this helps us to keep our shoulders in line with the toes. Sometimes we tend to come into this position and we'll turn toward the bent knee. And when we do this, we lose the stretch entirely in that left leg. So it's kind of a protective reflex, but it completely defeats the purpose of our stretch here. So make sure your shoulders are squared forward in line with the toes. We're shifting the weight into the heels and lifting the tailbone up toward the sky. We're looking for that extension between the inside of the left knee up into the thigh. Good. Notice where you can relax, maybe through the shoulders, maybe through the jaw. Great. One more deep breath in. Exhale, and we'll walk the hands up, pressing into the sole of the foot, standing up nice and tall. Good, and we'll come along to the other side. Take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend the left knee, tip from the hip, driving the weight into the left heel, and just rest the hands or the elbows on the back of the chair. And of course, if you feel ready, you can bring the left hand or elbow down to the left thigh, just making sure that we're not bringing both hands or both elbows to that thigh, because then we're turning toward the bent knee and losing the stretch. Good. Shift into the heels, lift your tailbone up toward the ceiling, whatever position you're in. You can reach for the floor if you want to. The goal is not to touch the floor. You can aim in that direction, but the goal is to feel the stretch mostly through the inside of that right thigh. Press the outside of the right foot into the floor. See if you can find that extension through the side of the leg. One more deep breath in. Exhale, and we'll press back up. Standing up nice and tall. You can readjust your foot positioning anytime, of course. And we're going to come into one last forward fold. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, tip from the hip, shift the weight into the heels, lift your tailbone toward the sky. Once again, you can come down and bring the hands to the seat of the chair, or all the way down to the floor. Whatever's most comfortable for you. And then we'll bend the knees and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders down and back. Work the heels and toes together. Step the feet together. Shake it off. Then we're going to forward fold with the feet hip width apart one more time before we come back down to our seat. I'd like you to notice how this feels different from our wide-legged forward fold. So standing tall, fingertips can be on the back of the chair, or you can inhale, arms out in front or out to the sides and overhead. Exhale and fold forward. You might stop here and just lounge on the back of that chair. Or you might walk the hands down to the seat, or let the body hang all the way down toward the floor. If you do let the body hang down, make sure that this does not make you feel dizzy or nauseated. If it does, raise the head above the heart line. Otherwise, we're just relaxing here. You can grasp the elbows and swing from side to side if you want to. You can shake the head out if you'd like. As you inhale, think of widening the back. As you exhale, shift into the heels, lift your tailbone towards the sky. And now let's bend the knees, and we'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulders down and back, reach the arms out to the sides and overhead, little baby back bend. And release down through prayer. arms. Great, so now let's come in front of our chairs once again, and we're going to come into our controlled concentric movement. So all that means is that our downward phase is very, very slow. So I'd like you to once again back up so that you feel comfortable sitting on your chair without looking or touching with your hands. And our feet are hip width apart. Rock back and forth, find the soles of the feet, stand up so you feel nice and tall. Arm positioning is up to you, anywhere except on the thighs or on the chair. Inhale. And we're going to exhale and lower down as slowly as we can. Focus your gaze, push into the heels, push into the outsides of the feet. Feel that alignment through your knees, hips, and ankles. Suck your belly button toward the spine. This is about core strength too. And we land very, very, very softly. Excellent. And release. Shake it off. Okay, great job, guys. I think we have time for a little bit of lower body, and then we'll come into our final relaxation. So let's begin by bringing the right knee into the chest. And we'll grasp just below the knee, and I'd like you to find your postural correction first. Shoulders down and back. Good, and we're just squeezing those elbows into the rib cage. Lengthening the neck and tucking the chin. Great. You can rotate that ankle around in a circle if you like. Now, again, of course, always there's modifications. So if this is not comfortable, grasp under the thigh. Or you can release that foot all the way to the floor if your arms have had enough by now. And if your foot is on the floor, never lose contact with the floor. So we're not holding the leg up here. We're placing the ball of the foot on the floor to do that rotation. Or you can rock forward and back from the ball of the foot to the heel. And if you're holding the leg up, then we're flexing and extending toward the ceiling and the floor. Good. And now we'll come right into our hip stretch. So bringing the right shin across the left thigh. Let's let that right knee drop out to the side. If you're not able to come here comfortably, then you can cross the ankle instead. So just make sure that you're not making an X with your ankles in the middle. We have one good solid supporting foot, and then the other foot comes over, as long as this twist is okay for your knee and hip. Then once you're here, we're pressing that right knee down. You can tip forward from the hip if you'd like, and we're looking for that extension through the side of the right leg. So the higher your leg is, and the more you're tipping forward, the more deeply you're going to feel that stretch. Once again, we don't bounce. We just extend as we inhale and relax as we exhale. So here, if you think about straightening out the spine, lifting your tailbone up toward the sky, you should feel the stretch in that right hip deepen and intensify. If you'd like, you can round forward from the belly button to the crown of the head and bring those forearms to the shin, or relax the arms down along the sides of the body. Just keep in mind that as you lower the body down, we don't want to be tucking the tailbone, or else we'll lose our stretch. So keep that lower back straight and lifted. Once you've found the depth of your stretch, just stay there for a few breaths, and as you breathe, just think about breathing deeply into the muscle you feel stretching. And as you exhale, just ask it to relax. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. And now we'll make our way back up and release the leg, flex and extend to work out that knee. And we'll place the sole of the right foot on the floor, bringing that left knee up and grasping underneath the knee or under the thigh, or releasing that foot all the way down to the floor. And we're sitting tall. So the purpose of this pose really is postural correction first. And then we're looking for that ankle mobility around that. So lengthen the neck, squeeze your shoulders down and back. We should be feeling this muscular contraction in the back and the backs of the arms, never up in the neck and shoulders. Good, and then flex and extend toward the ceiling and the floor. Breathe. And now when you're ready, you can cross that shin over the thigh, letting the left knee drop out to the side, or cross the left ankle over the right, and gently press that knee out to the side. Once you're here, you're tipping forward from the hip. You can support your body weight on that right knee, and if you're feeling confident with your flexibility and you'd like to deepen your stretch, you can very gently press down into that left knee, just above the joint of the knee, so never right on the joint itself. Good. And same thing here, if you feel comfortable doing so, you're welcome to gently, slowly press down on that, just above the knee, that muscle of the thigh. And you can also round forward, relaxing down from the belly button to the crown of the head, keeping that lower back lifted, lifting the tailbone at the same time. Or you can release the arms down along the sides of the body. So when you release the arms, we're now allowing our body weight to contribute to our stretch a little more. So make sure that you're using the core muscles to control the depth of your stretch as you go. Again, as you inhale, think of widening the back. As you exhale, just ask the body to relax down a little deeper into the stretch. Great. And now let's come on back up. And we'll release the leg. Work out the knee. And we move along to hands. So I'd like you to reach out with the right hand, fingertips point toward the sky, and the right arm is straight. We're going to grasp the right fingertips with the left fingertips and just draw them back. Now here, once you've got your grip, you can release that hand down to the thigh to rest the shoulders if you like. Good, drawing those fingertips back, keeping that right arm straight. So when you come into the stretch, make sure you're not immediately bending the elbow to get the fingertips closer to you. We want to feel the stretch through the palm and the wrist, and maybe up into that forearm as well. Good. We're always breathing deeply. And smiling and breathing deeply are going to reduce our stress levels and increase our endorphins and our just good feelings all together without us having to try very hard. So that's a good hack. It helps us relax. Good. And then we'll release. Work out that wrist, and now coming to the thumb, we're grasping the thumb with the left hand. Again, you can rest that hand down on the thigh and just drawing it back. And I'd like you to see if you can find that spot where you feel like you're stretching the webbing of the thumb. So that stretch through the palm. Good. And then we'll release, squeeze it open. And now to the other side, left arm extends nice and straight. And again, it can extend down with the wrist on the thigh. And you can grasp those left fingertips with the right hand and we'll gently draw them back, pressing into the palm of the left hand. Relax your shoulders down. Breathe deeply. And make sure that you're always maintaining that nice straight posture just for a little while longer until we come into our final relaxation. And release, shake it out. And then coming into the thumb on that same side. So just drawing that thumb back, looking for that extension through the webbing. Check that your shoulders are relaxed. They tend to want to help with every stretch we're doing and they can't very much. So we're just looking to keep them out of it, relaxing wherever we can. And then we'll release, squeeze and open, reach out to the sides, lengthen through the fingertips, palms point toward the sky and the thumbs point toward the back of the room. Now let's spread the fingers, tip the wrists down and back behind you, and let the arms follow. Good. I want you to see if you can find that stretch right from fingertip to fingertip, down the arms and across the shoulders. Breathe into it and feel that extension. One more deep breath in. Exhale and release the arms. And now triceps, reaching that right elbow up toward the sky, alongside the head. And from here, you can press from underneath. You can grasp from on top. You can rest the left hand on the thigh. You can reach up between the shoulder blades. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Just make sure that the position of that right arm does not change the position of your neck. So we don't want to compensate for that. Always posture first and then we move around that. We'd like to try and find that stretch through the back of the right arm, the triceps. Relax your shoulders. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release the arm. Reach out to the sides, lengthen through the fingertips, shoulders down. And shake it off. Now left side, left arm reaches up, elbow toward the sky. And again, that right arm is completely up to you. Press from underneath, grasp from on top, release that hand to the hip, or grasp the fingertips up between the shoulder blades. Good. Keep that spine nice and straight. And looking for that stretch in the back of the left arm. So poses like this, everything that we do isn't just good for flexibility of our muscles. It's also flexibility of our joints and ligaments and tendons and our nerves, and it wakes up our circulation and all sorts of great stuff. So just keeping that in mind too. It's really overall wellness. And then we'll release and lengthen through those fingertips. And release the arms. Now coming into our full body stretch to finish off. Reach out through the fingertips and toes. Breathe in deep. Exhale, bring everything into the center. Curve and round. Squeeze the air out of the body. And again, breathe in deep. Reach out. Expand. Take up lots of space. find yourself some socks or blankets or sweaters, anything that you need to stay warm and be comfortable, because we will cool down now that we're not moving. And of course, the purpose of our Shavasana, our final relaxation, is to relax, and you can only do that if you're comfortable. So I do encourage you to even lay down on the couch or find an easy chair, whatever you like. So you no longer have to maintain that perfectly upright position. And we'll just start by taking a deep breath in all the way down to the tips of the toes and closing the eyes. And exhaling completely. Feel the body sink down into the seat, into the floor, into the earth. Now just for a moment, bringing your attention to today's class and giving yourself that mental pat on the back for making it here, for making it through, and especially for maintaining the lines of communication with the body. Now we'll begin to relax from the bottom up. Breathe in down to the balls of the feet, the arches, heels, and ankles, stirring up tension. Exhale it out, pressing it out of the body with focus. Breathe through the calves, the shins, the knee joints and thighs. Exhale tension all the way down to the bones. Breathe through the hips, pelvis, buttocks, and lower spine. Exhale tension. Allow the body to sink down. Breathe through the muscles of the lower back, side body, and abdomen. Exhale tension. Feel the muscles and internal organs relax, slowing down. Breathe through the middle and upper back, through the rib cage and solar plexus. As you exhale, feel the heart and lungs slow down, relaxing. Breathe through the collarbone, shoulders, biceps, and elbows. Exhale tension, allowing the arms to relax at the sides. Breathe through the forearms, wrists, palms and backs of the hands. As you exhale, allow the fingertips to let go of tension. Relax the muscles of the neck, through the top of the spine and the base of the skull. Relax the throat. Relax the jaw. Relax the muscles of the face, around the eyes, mouth, and ears. Relax the brow. And lastly, release the breath, breathing naturally as you sink deeper into relaxation. attention back to the breath. Take a deep breath in and exhale completely. And just allowing your body to rest here for a moment with the eyes closed. I'd like you to just bring to mind 3 things that you like or love or appreciate. Anything at all in the world. Could be something that you did already today, a hot cup of coffee or a good breakfast. Or anything else, puppies or nature, family members and friends. I just want you to take a moment and experience that sense of gratitude for those things, people, places. And as you breathe, just allow that gratitude and appreciation to fill the inside of your body, right to the edges. And as you exhale, just relax into it, that feeling of offering gratitude for those things that you like. And now offering that gratitude to yourself, giving that mental pat on the back, for making it here to class today, and for making it through, and doing something good for yourself and the world around you. And now as we bring our attention back to the body, let's wiggle the fingers and toes. You can move the wrists and ankles around in circles. And if you're in a laying down position, you can comfortably find your way to a seated position. And let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and open the eyes. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I hope you can make it next time. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.